kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Oh, hello. You know, I was just feeding almonds to my cat in preparation for Almond Cat when I realized it's been a while since I did a prediction video. And so, Tolarian Community College presents the professor pontificating his often preposterous predictions of the next set. So much pee, it makes me proud. But first, let us pause in order for me to parse through my previous predictions. The last time I made a prediction, it was for Eldritch Moon. How did I do? Liliana is the hero and will join Jace and the League of Super Friends. Prediction number 2, we are only going to see a few, by which I mean half a dozen or so, actual Eldrazi cards. Prediction number 3, that which defines Innistrad, the undead horrors, will be its salvation. Prediction number 4 is no Tybalt. And my number 1 prediction for Eldritch Moon, the villain, the evil Emrakul, will not be destroyed, and not because we want to have her get away to come back and fight another day, but because we are going to, in the end, pity her. Alright, but let's talk Almond Cat now. Prediction number 1, Bolas wins. Look, we can see this coming a mile away. The Gatewatch has been cartoonishly successful ever since a few of these mortal new walkers took down 2 Eldrazi Titans, something that the godlike planeswalkers of the past could not even fathom doing. Heck of a fireball spell you got there, Chandra. And though they stumbled a bit in Innistrad and were more or less bogged down with bureaucracy in the great galaxy of coincidence that was Kaladesh, they've been, boom, winning since they were first introduced. But now they're going up against a real force to be reckoned with, and Bolas is an extremely popular villain, whose popularity very largely hinges on how powerful and unstoppable he is. This isn't Ob Nixilis shaking his fist into the sky and screaming, "I'll get you next time, Gatewatch! Next time!" No, Bolas is possibly one of the most popular characters in Magic lore, and it is the perfect opportunity to have the Gatewatch finally lose. Now don't expect this loss on the part of the Gatewatch to be anything dramatic like a member's death. It'll likely be much more a strategic retreat, only to discover how to believe in themselves again, or, I don't know, the true meaning of teamwork, or whatever the plot of the next Justice League movie is, so that we can co-opt it. Prediction number 2 has to do with the flavor of the plane of Amonkhet. We know that this is the Egyptian-themed plane, and it has drawn upon Egyptian mythology for inspiration, much in the same way that Theros drew upon Greek mythology, and Kamigawa drew upon Japanese history and mythology, and Kaladesh. Well, that was a really cool set, but for Amonkhet, my prediction is that it will not draw upon some of the grittier, darker realisms from Egyptian mythology and history, but instead be much more loosely based. In other words, don't expect to be putting slave tokens into play and then sacrifice 10 of those slave tokens in order to activate the ability of a pyramid artifact or anything like that. I think we're going to be seeing a lot less of the realistic Egyptian mythos and a lot more of Egyptian horror and fantasy flavor. Bolas is, after all, in Grixis colors, and if he did indeed create Amonkhet, as Liliana recently suggested, then it may just be a world of dark horrors. Think, in other words, mummies and ghouls more than slaves building the pyramids. You're not going to see that. All right, enough about the story. Let's get into the cards themselves. Prediction number 3 is that we will see the return of god cards, such as we saw in Theros. I say this with a heavy heart, and I really hope I am wrong on this particular prediction, because I felt that the god cards of Theros were one of its distinguishing features, and by creating and bringing back god cards for Amonkhet, we are essentially saying that these types of beings are found throughout the multiverse, that we might find these enchantment creatures on many a plane, and in so doing so, we rob both Theros and Amonkhet of distinction, uniqueness, things that set them apart. Now, if I am right and we do see the return of God cards, then since God cards are enchantment creatures, we may see Amonkhet turn out to be a proper Enchantments Matter block to follow suit. Maybe we're going to see a ramp up of power, and this will turn into a fixed Urza's saga of sorts. Oh, which may mean prediction number 2, Amonkhet is going to lead not, as many have suggested, to New Phyrexia again, but instead back to Dominaria. There's been a lot of hints at Dominaria from the mothership recently, which is really interesting because just a few years ago they expressed a lot of surprise and hesitation over even the idea of one day returning there. But is this shift from Dominaria, do people even care about going there, to the impressive list of callbacks and hints we've been teased with recently, a signal to us that Dominaria might follow Amonkhet? Considering Bolas's own community-perceived connections to Dominaria, considering we've been back to Zendikar, back to Innistrad, New Phyrexia being the one in between those two from our original visits to those planes, we are not going there. We're going not to Atlantis either, but to Dominaria herself. All right, my last prediction is my biggest, and I am going to absolutely expect each and every one of you to hold me accountable to this, meaning endless mockery if I am wrong, but props where props are due if I am right. Do you know what I mean by props? Do kids still say props? I'm so out of touch, but not as out of touch as Wizards of the Coast will be revealed as being if they do not reprint Damnation in Amonkhet block. That's right, my number one prediction, and the one I feel most confident in from this entire list, is that in this block, we will see the reprinting of Damnation at last. Now, it can either be as a card within the proper set itself, which is the correct way to do it, or we may see it as the cowardly way to do it, which would be as a masterpiece, in which case we will still not see a significant price decrease, and we get to continue complaining about lack of a proper Damnation reprint in many years to come. Now, the best thing to do, of course, would be to reprint Damnation in Amonkhet and to offer a super full art ultra mythic foil masterpiece of it as well, giving collectors bling with value, but average players also a reasonable price for accessibility to standard, modern, and anywhere else Damnation is played. But how right am I on these predictions, and will my grade improve? We will just have to wait and see. But until then, I hope this video has been of some interest to you. Do you have any predictions for Amonkhet block? Let me know in the comments below, and we can see who was right and who was wrong when this set hits shelves soon. And this program was made possible thanks to a sponsorship from Card Kingdom, as well as the Patreon support of viewers such as you. So thank you.
Here we go.
What's up?